I can't do that. I can't. Welcome back to Extra Holiday Games. I'm Extra Holiday, and next level. Next level. Let's do it. Still working on this green line here. The I line. Gnarly grindage. Righteous rail station. Okay. I'm looking at the weapons, and I get the feeling that I know which one I'll be using, because they usually put the one with the most reward on the right. Yep. The Bamboozler 14 Mark 1 and Splat Bomb. Could use the Splatter Shot, could use the Jet Squelcher. Doing this. Wow. Is this weaker than a normal charger? Oh, wow. Seems like it. Alright, well. Here we go. Ride rails and bust all the targets. Okay. I forgot how to do this. Jump is B, right? Yes, okay. Whoops. I missed it. Fuck. Woo! Bye. This is good. This is good. It's a good start. Good start to the level. Good start to the episode. Love to see it. It didn't go in time. I didn't get it in time is what I should say. It was a failure on me, not the game. And a what? And a what? Ah, yes, I can do that. Good. What? And a what? I undershot that. Awkward. Try again. Oh, this is an interesting level to start with. Start the batch with. I know you all aren't really keeping track of batches, probably, but it is kind of important for me to do. Ow. Okay, so they move sometimes. Got it. You know, you gotta wonder about the efficiency of choosing the most rewarding weapon each time. Okay. Oh, shit. Missed it. Because, you know, obviously the reason it's the most rewarding is that it's the hardest, right? And you gotta think, right? If you're dying frequently, then you're also using up points. You know, you get points for using the hard weapon, but also you lose points for dying because you're using the hard weapon. So it's, you know, you might say it's a little questionable to use the hard weapon every time if we're talking purely from a economics standpoint. Doesn't necessarily make sense, but it's not just about the money. It's about the challenge, all right? If you tell me, like, oh, you could do it this way, but it might be a little too hard for you, then I am absolutely going to do what I can to prove that it is not too hard. Oh, missed that. Okay. Let's go. Got it. Well, this is awkward. Very, very awkward. Leave no crates behind, he says after I leave a crate behind. Thank you. Thank you, Cap. Appreciate it. Ow. Interesting that those things just straight up insta-kill you. They don't even give you a chance to get back on the rail if you miss the jump. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that this, I mean, it makes sense, right? It's supposed to be like post-game stuff, but I'm fairly certain that the Octo expansion is intended to be harder than the main story. Woo! Woo! Got it. Good. Good. Got it. Nope. other side. Thank you. All right, we are almost halfway. Uh-oh. Yeah, no, didn't get that. No grades behind. Okay. You got it, boss. No, no, not asking for help. No, you're almost as bad. Actually, this isn't as bad as Luigi in Mario Maker 2, but it's along the same vein, you know? Oh, wow, that actually worked. I kind of just expected to die there. I jumped and was like, nope, did that too soon. I'm gonna die. And then I didn't die. A pleasant surprise. As it usually is. What? Okay. Also worth noting on the subject of economy in these missions, oh, I'm dead, is that I don't think, actually, you know what, I could be wrong about this, but I don't think you keep the points that you pick up in the level between deaths. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I didn't get any there, so can't really judge based on that. But we'll see in a sec here. What? All right. What? All right. And then yeah, so like here we've got 60-36, and then we die there. And no, we did keep it, so I guess that dampens the blow a little bit, but it's not still maybe not great. Got it. Wasn't confident on that one, but we got it. Okay. All right. Yeah, and also, like, we're losing 1,000 points every time we game over. Oh. Woo. No, die. Damn it, I'm dead. Pew! One last shot, but no, it didn't work. Yeah, I'm thinking, like, this is probably the hard. These are probably the hard levels, right? Right? Like, they couldn't get much harder than this, yeah? Right? Alright, well. GG. Might as well get some points while we're at it, though, since they do carry over. Woo! I might actually run out of points on this one. This is going to be interesting. I might have to do a different level, which has less points. Or costs less points, I should say. Alright. Forced me to do the easier levels first. I feel like I actually could have gotten back on the rail there if I hadn't given up on the first hit. No, guess it goes to show. Don't give up. Don't be that guy who dies in the level 1 invade. And then it's like, oh, FF. You know, they hit FF at 15 even though you're actually winning. You know who you are. Actually, I think the problem is that they don't. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not fine, but it is fine. Okay. Oh, that was close. Funny thing is, I don't see a much better way to do that, because this weapon, this form of the charger does not have, best range. Right, 'cause look how far I'm shooting here. It's not that far. Like, if I back up and I go, yeah, it's like it barely reaches the end of the platform there. Like, bam. It's not, range ain't great on this one. Almost feels like I might as well be using the splatter shot in terms of range. Oh fuck, missed it. Missed it again. I'm starting to think that the points are actually genuinely only for doing specific levels, like, you know, like, yeah, for the entry fee. I feel like there aren't any other ways to use the CQ points. So in truth, if that is true, then it's not too huge a deal to lose them doing a level, or even gaining them in a level. It's just like, hey, play more games. Or play more games. Ow, I'm dead. Yeah, I think you have to, with this weapon, I think you have to just like turn around immediately. Or maybe if I aim for the top one, maybe it'll hit both. That's unlikely given how I feel the charger generally works, but I don't know. I guess I probably don't need a full charge to take these things out. They're just targets after all, but also, I don't think the shot is actually has as much range if you don't charge it. So, okay. Boop. Oh, I did it! Oh, I didn't have to turn around. Wow. Charge and keep our eye trained on that. Ooh. Oh, no break, huh? Okay. Ow. Okay, didn't realize that was gonna straight up kill me. There aren't any checkpoints in this level, are there? I mean, it kind of makes sense, given what they're going for here is basically just like, hey, gotta ride the whole thing. But non-stop action. Basically, it's an on-rails, I mean, literally on-rail segment. Not even basically, it's literally that. It's an auto-scroller, basically, but significantly more interesting than your average platformer auto-scroller because you have to like aim and stuff. So I guess it's kind of like how shmups work, isn't it? It's like if you're playing a shmup, like you're not moving the screen yourself. So there we go. Yeah, that's the technique. All right. So yeah, I guess if you're looking to for a model for your like auto scrolling in your platformer, look at shmups, I guess. Yeah, this isn't gonna work because I didn't hit the one crate. Yikes. Okay, alright. I don't know what it is. Truly, I don't. But obviously, right, when it comes to auto-scrollers, which this basically is, again, some are better than others, right? And in platformers, they have a reputation for just not being good in general. Oh, fuck. And part of the reason for that, I've actually watched a video or two on this. Part of the reason for that is often attributed to the fact that you have to redo the same sections over and over just to get to the part you messed up on, which is to an extent kind of true of all video games, but the auto scroller is kind of that epitomized. So yeah, it's strange to me then that I don't really have a problem with this so much. I don't know. I guess maybe the key, at least for me, would be that it really needs to feel like a challenge. And you know what? Yeah, I think the part that really kills a lot of auto scrollers and like platformers and stuff is the fact that there's a lot of just waiting, right? Waiting for the screen to catch up. And you can argue in a lot of cases that that's because, like, oh, you don't want to overwhelm, players who are less skilled and make them like have to do things a bunch. Have to constantly be doing things. Basically, you don't want to scare the less skilled players in a lot of instances, because a lot of games are. And you also want that audience of, people who aren't terribly good at video games. But I think there are better and worse ways to do it. Like in this instance, yes, I would not argue. I wouldn't argue that I'm especially bad at video games, but I wouldn't say I'm great at them either. So for me, and because this is already a kind of a harder level in terms of general difficulty of the game, it's cool that I can focus more or less just on hitting the targets here. However, if I were much better, or just looking for an even harder challenge, there's other things like these squid rings, or like these just floating CQ points here that I can get by shooting. So if I wanted to be, if I wanted to accept that extra challenge, I think that's probably the key. I think the key to making a good auto scroller is probably just to have optional. Oh, okay. I don't know if this is intentional or not, but it's possible. And I missed it. Okay. Just have optional challenges during your auto scroller. That's probably it. That's probably what you want to do. Because I think, like, if you think about a lot of Mario games and their auto scrollers, they suffer from the problem of not really giving enough to do while you're waiting for the screen to scroll. Whereas I think shmups kind of have the opposite problem a lot of the time, where there's just too much going on all the time. So it's a bit difficult it's definitely on the higher end of difficulty, and it's less inclusive in that way. You don't really find a lot of casual shmup players. However, if you were to say, maybe tone down a shmup a little bit in terms of the number of things on screen, or if you were to take a Mario level and, maybe introduce some mechanic that you can do to get yourself a bonus while you're waiting, then I think that would basically solve those problems. And, in the case of Mario, they probably fixed that. I'm trying to think of actually, yeah, I would say, because I recently played through Mario Odyssey again, and there was one part that stood out to me that was definitely auto-scroller like, although you can do various things to skip certain parts of it, if you're good enough, which, hey, by the way, that's basically exactly the point I'm leading into, is they gave you optional stuff to do, and optional little challenges to do while you're waiting. Specifically, I am talking about the part in the Sand Kingdom, where it's like I can't remember, it's like the second story moon or something. After that, where you're riding these platforms like really high up in the air. Shit. You're riding platforms really high up in the air, and there's not a whole lot for you to do. You can just ride the platforms and be fine. Nothing will kill you. Nothing will hurt you. However, pretty much nobody I've ever seen play that game will do that. What they'll do is they'll go, fling their hat at the little I guess throw devices. I got distracted thinking about the level in Mario. The little devices that like extend your hat throw or send it in a different direction or whatever. They'll throw their calf at that because, hey, guess what? There's coins that you can get that way, or that you have to get that way if you want to get the coins. So they'll do that. And in doing that, you know, they keep themselves occupied. It makes it less boring. And then, of course, as I mentioned before, there's the other level of like, if you really know what you're doing, then you can skip a lot of it. In fact, I think you can probably skip the entire sequence. But yeah, it's a neat little. It's neat. I think Mario has probably fixed that. Fixed that problem in his more recent games, like Mario himself. Yeah, because he definitely develops the games that he's in. Nintendo has fixed that in recent Mario games. They've done auto-scrollers better, is what I'm trying to say. Shit. Yeah. Okay, so in terms of shmups, because that was our other example, right? Our example of the other end, I think actually games like Vampire Survivors, which aren't exactly the same, I know. Vampire Survivors or Holocure or games like that style of game, the Bullet Heaven, I believe they call them, is, I think they kind of have they have a good idea for shmups in that, like, shmups already had power-ups that you could just pick up, by just running into them with your ship or your character or whatever. Those already existed, but like having those be core to like gaining more power and like having those be kind of the focus of the game rather than an ancillary thing. And yeah, you probably actually straight up need those for progression in those games. Like I guess technically if you just survive long enough, you will actually you'll be fine. But I think actually it's weird because basically you're adding more to a shmup if you're doing this, but making it so that survival isn't just like the only thing you're trying to do, right? Like you're trying to, like, collecting things is key to your survival, not just convenient, right? Like you don't necessarily, like you don't have to survive longer if you don't collect them. Man, how this is hard to elaborate, especially while I'm playing a video game. Yeah, so effectively, Bullet Hell and Bullet Heaven games are opposite in that when it comes to power-ups and pickups and all that, in that in a Bullet Hell, it makes it so you have to survive longer if you don't pick things up. In a Bullet Heaven, picking things up is essential to surviving longer. It sounds the same, but it's not exactly. Hopefully I'm being clear here, because yeah, I think that's probably the best I can do to elaborate at the moment. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, maybe that's just maybe if you were to add, say, the picking things up element to a shmup, if you were to treat a shmup like a Bullet Heaven game, treat a Bullet Hell like a Bullet Heaven game, it might just end up losing its genre markers, basically. Effectively, what I'm describing is probably a hybrid of both. That would be that would make shmups, in my opinion, more accessible and just overall better. Again, I say that as someone who is not a big fan of shmups. How many times have I said the word shmup in this episode? Whatever. As someone who's not a big fan of them, I think I would like them more if essentially they, turn the power up mechanic on its head, where like it's not a convenience, it's a necessity, and then basically what you would end up with is like Hollow Cure or Vampire Survivors, but auto-scrolling, and that would be interesting. That'd be interesting. And there's probably, now that I think about it, there's probably games out there that are already like that, but I just can't think of them at the moment, and they don't seem to be, the most popular games right now. I don't know. Or, it could just be that Momo Johnson can't think about it. I can't think of it right now. Could be. I don't know. Just some random thoughts on game design, I guess. I missed that one. And also, that one needs a charged shot. You can't just kill it with uncharged shots. Alright. Okay. So, now that train of thoughts left the station, hey, how's it going? We're playing a Splatoon level here, and I'm almost out of points, so that's fun. Yeah, I guess that's the other thing. You'll notice a lot of the time, kind of one of my markers for one of my indicators that I should be talking about something that's not the game, generally, is when I'm repeating the same stuff over and over in the game, because there's only so many times you can say, "Oh man, I died," and have it still be entertaining. There's only so many ways to do that. So generally, yeah, during times like this where I'm repeating the same part over and over and over, that's generally a pretty good indicator to me to maybe switch topics. I guess if you're ever looking for advice on how to effectively Let's Play, claiming that I hit Let's Play effectively, that's weird. That's actually a trick I picked up from, like many things, I picked it up from the Game Grumps. Because I noticed that there are specific times where they talk about the game and specific times where they don't talk about the game. And maybe it's not something they consciously do, maybe it's something they just do naturally, and that's part of why they've become as popular as they have. But I find it very useful. I think it makes I think it improves the episodes. So, yeah, I mean, there's a comment section if you want to debate my point of view on that, but also if you want to debate my point of view on shmup design, I guess, and auto-scrolling design. I don't know. I'm having a lot of trouble with that part. It's the second one. Second of the three that's really getting me. Yeah, that's just how it be. It's just how it be, really. I'm glad. It's one of there aren't a lot of things that make me feel like I'm doing an especially good job. Oh, fuck, that was weird. Doing an especially good job at recording myself playing a video game. But one of the things is when I notice that, like, oh hey, I did a thing where I spiced up this section a little bit that would otherwise be boring. Consciously I did that. That makes me feel like I'm doing a decent job, you know. That's pretty neat. I enjoy that. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lack of confidence that comes with smaller numbers. And don't get me wrong, my numbers aren't terribly small, right? Like 100 people is still a lot of people. But it's easy to compare yourself to much larger names and be like, well, why am I not like them? Hold on. Shit. Nope. Okay. It's fine. Right, and you start to wonder, like, is it truly a skill gap, as they say? Or is it just that you haven't gotten lucky like they did? The answer is usually both, it seems. To me, it seems that way. Usually the answer is, yes, you're not quite as good as they are, but also, yes, they got lucky before you did. That's why you just keep going, right? Because you kind of solve both those problems when you just keep doing the thing. You solve the problem of not being as good by, practice. Taking new ideas and incorporating them and practicing them, and here we go again. Beep. I guess that's kind of an anti-point to, what just happened is maybe a little bit of an anti-point to what I was talking about, but, it's generally you get better. You're not going to do better every time, but generally you get better through practice. And also, the longer you do something, the more likely you are to get lucky doing it. And no, I don't mean get lucky as in, Daft Punk staying up all night to get lucky. I mean, a good turn of favor. Lady Luck smiling upon you. It's funny, every time Daft Punk's Get Lucky comes on, I have this snarky thought like, oh, it takes you all night to get lucky? Huh. Jokingly, of course, because obviously I'm not that laid, but doesn't really matter to me, actually. So, it's just a fun little joke. Fun little joke that I think of every time I hear that song. Good song, though. Good song. I do enjoy that. Shame they're not making music anymore. At least not as Daft Punk. I am a little nostalgic for Daft Punk, actually, because that was... Specifically, I have a memory of going with my friends to see Tron Legacy. And if you didn't know, the majority of that soundtrack is done by Daft Punk. Which is... And it was a good soundtrack, because I enjoyed the movie. I don't know... I mean, I'd have to watch it again to tell you if it's actually good or not, but I enjoyed it. And also, the scenario, being with a bunch of friends watching it, could have also influenced how much I liked it. Yeah, I was like... that was my junior, sophomore year of high school? I don't remember exactly. Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time. And I remember the fucking dicks that we were. We were standing in line, right? Because we were at this fancy IMAX theater. It's where we all met up to go see this. We didn't go to our local theater. We went out of the way for this one. And we were standing in line. And none of us had seen the movie, so we didn't know this. Ugh, I'm out of CQ points. We didn't know this happened in the movie. Spoilers, I guess, for Tron Legacy. Sorry, you don't have enough points. Try another station. Fine. What about this one? Test fees 1,000. Don't have enough. Hold on. We'll get back to the Tron Legacy story in a sec. There is no cost for this. But I want to save doing the things for last. Okay. So that's 200. We could probably pretty easily get that. Yeah, let's do the blue ones. Hold on, what's this? 200. Oh, this is an 8-ball one. Okay. Well, 8-ball ones actually kind of kick my ass. So maybe we do. Maybe we do. Maybe we do. This one. Sure. So, basically what we were doing in line was we were shouting, Flynn dies. And first of all, it was funny that, again, spoiler, that we were right. And I don't know. I think back on it and I was like, if I were anyone else in that line, I'd be really fucking annoyed. Because like, yes, we were spoiling the movie unknowingly, but also, like, we were also just a bunch of teenagers fucking yelling shit in public. So, yeah, little obnoxious we were, but you know, we had fun, so that's cool. Definitely, maybe not really cool, but it's a thing we did, and I think of it fondly. $50 balloons, huh? Well. Okay, but like, stop them. Hit the thing. Hit the thing. Oh, I have to get up here, don't I? No, son of a... Damn it. I didn't realize they were going to put some out of my reach. Hey, what? Where the fuck are you going? What the hell is the timer on that one? Fucking dumb. Alright, fine. I didn't intend to make this episode this long, but I guess here we are. Alright, so it's fine. I'll just clear this level real quick, that's all. That's all I gotta do. Nope, don't start flying up, you loser. Only losers fly up. All the cool kids fly down. And they're not actually flying, they're just falling, but it's what the cool kids are doing. So, you should do it too. Because peer pressure. I like to think I was never really one to be pressured by my peers. But, honestly, I don't know if that's the case. Like, you like to think you're better than that, but... Oh, good. Last 10. Oh, God, I'm surrounded. 3 more. Una más. Gotta get it. Got it. Okay. Got a few points back. Whew. Well, we got something done this episode at least. I don't know. Should I try and build up more points before I go back to that level? Because we're probably going to need more than one try. I don't know. What's this say? Though parted by the ocean deep, my oldest friend, we meet again. I touch your face, you rouse from sleep. Neat. Okay. I think we're probably just going to try and build up points next time. Because as for this episode, that's a wrap. are we?